Darn it, normally I'm early. I'm a little late, just a little late. How you kids doing? I am. I wish you lived in an adult world where I could use the C word, but I can't because it would absolutely describe me. But I am a spoiled Quanta, haha. Like I said before, guys, you're gonna play your cards right or just avoid the mistakes, and then you're gonna be sitting there like, huh? Is this it? I went to Zion National Park. Atham, look it up, and you could see it. It's one of the prettiest parks I'd say in the United States, national parks anyway. Maybe second or third to Glacier, and certainly number one is Canyonlands, also in Utah. But I went out there and I was like, oh, because we're going to leave. I'm going to leave back for my home in South Dakota. The snow is gone now. Everything is safe. My pampered little ass can go back now. And I said, oh, geez, we're leaving soon, like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I got to do all this stuff. I was too responsible. I was too much being an adult. Not to mention the weather sucked. I only golfed once. I only got like 2 motorcycle rides in a very coldest winter in 30 years in Las Vegas, Nevada. So there was not a lot of bragging, but the weather finally broke. And say, oh crap, we got to pack all this stuff in. We got to do it. What do we got to do? We got to do that living thing. Remember that whole living thing that we're all about? Not the working thing. That's the opposite. No. That's what debt-ridden girls with their master's degree in jokes of studies do, as we'll get to later, I find out. We do the opposite. We go do the fun thing. Well, what is the fun thing? Well, it's whatever you want, my fine young sir. But I was never taught to have fun. I know you went to the public schools and were taught to go to college and enslave yourself to untold amounts of debt. And the happiest thing and the most important thing you do would be what you do for work. Not family, not love, not sex, not staying in shape, not exercise, not eating healthy, not climbing mountains, not riding motorcycles, not gone fishing. Ba, 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 ba. No, it was work. Yeah, but the fun stuff, we got to train. And really, you almost do have to train people on fun nowadays. They forget. I know I'm old enough now. I've seen my men and women of my generation. Like, hey, do you want to do the fun thing? And they do this purgatory. Neither work nor fun, neither alive nor dead, neither happy nor sad. Like, pick a side. What do you want to go have fun? No. I want to stay in the purgatory of non-existence and not living nor ending the misery through death. I wish to, dun, 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 stay at home. And I'm like, shink, shink, pop. I did him a favor. So I'm trying to pack in all the fun. And Zion is only, depending on where you want to hike in Zion, because there's new rules, so always fun. And other people apparently want to go to this park, I found out yesterday. So I said, okay, I want to try another hike in Zion. I want to do Angel's Landing. I don't want to sit in the shuttle. I don't want to sit with all the lemmings and the sheep and the sardines they pack in, and everyone's really slow. So I want to get. So I looked around, and on the northeast side of the park is a trailhead called East Mesa Outlook. And to kind of give you guys a visual, Zion National Park is basically just a very deep and beautiful, dramatic canyon. I don't know how far the cliffs drop, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was over 1,000 or maybe even 2,000 feet. This is where the famous Angel's Landing is. Yes, I've hiked it. The famous Chris Beckloff has hiked it. He called it Death Mountain because he also he chooses purgatory to sit at home. He does not like fun. And so you're up on top of the plateau, and then the Virgin River has cut this dramatic canyon. Not as dramatic as the Grand Canyon, but still very beautiful and digestible. The Grand Canyon, you just look at it like takes you 2 days to hike it with any justice, and you're looking at this is too much food to eat. You just really look at the Grand Canyon. Zion, not so intimidating. It's still intimidating, but like, I could do this. I could do this whole thing. Might take a couple trips, I could do it. And so what the commoners, what the normie conformies and inferiors do is they load up in the main southern entrance to the park. And you got to park 2 miles away. You take a shuttle. This wasn't this way 10 years ago. 10 years ago, when all you schmucks that overpaid for a house and took out home equity loans and were unemployed during the Great Recession, where you all should have stayed at home because you had no money, couldn't even go for a walk. Cappy, who was a minimalist and had his motorcycle, had free reign of the country. I'm not kidding. It will go down. It will go down as one of my fonder memories. Your fond memories, you don't know them when you're having them. I'm just going to look back and say, man, those were good times. The reason there was good times, because there's a recession. I was just starting to work online and make enough money that I didn't have to, I saved my pennies and dimes. I had rental income. Effectively didn't have a mortgage. I paid off my student loans, foreign concept. There's a whole new course on that. I'll be explaining to all you later how that works out. But I could just get a hotel, a good one, not the fanciest one, but a good one for like $35 a night. If I wasn't in a motorcycle, I was in a car. And all these national parks, just ghost towns. There'd be the ranger. Hey, how you doing? Hi. Can I come in? Yeah, please. You're the third person today. We've been open 16 hours. And you could just pull right in there. Zion National Park. Catch the little shuttle bus. 3 stops up. There's Angel's Landing. Right up. Amazing view. Just amazing view. Beautiful view. And then you go down. And then it was the economy slowly recovered. I know a lot of you are big Trump fans. I am not a big Trump fan. I'm not a big Trump enemy either. But there was a very average economic recovery. Long and steady. And then you people came back. Started going to my parks, driving up hotel prices and gas prices. And then the parks got cute. Oh, you need a lottery. You can't hike on, you need a lottery. And for once, I kind of agree with them, because the last time I did Angel's Landing, there was a traffic jam of people up there, which is not a good thing, because if you look at Angel's Landing, it's this thin cliff. I don't know how high, but 1,500 feet up. I got it straight down, just straight down. It's awesome. It's just awesome. I'm going to stay in. And the skinniest part, I think, is 4 feet wide, where you screw up, you're dead. You're just dead. And they got chains and you hold on. Well, there were people backed up on that chain. I'm like, okay, this isn't good. So I kind of understand they don't want traffic jams getting up there. But now, and then there was the disease, and then we had a little bit of respite. Utah never closed down. Me and the Great One and a buddy of mine and Sergeant Greg, we all went hiking, had a grand old time in Moab. It was wonderful. None of you normie people were there. You're all staying in. Oh, no. I might catch a cold. I'll just stay in and watch all my Netflix and chill with my overweight spouse. So there's a little shiny moment in time. It was about 1.5 years. And then that ended and everybody came back and forth. And now all the national parks are pretty much jam-packed. So now you got to be strategic about your approach to the national parks. You got to think outside the box of normies and conformies and inferiors, which is not hard because you look at them. They're going to do the logical thing. They're going to go into the main entrance. They're all going to take the shuttle. They're all going to take pictures. Maybe 5% of them might get off their fat touristy ass and go walk up a trail or two. I got to figure this out. So then I see there's this trail way far northeast corner of the thing. And you got to take some dirt roads to get there, but you can get there. And it hikes out into kind of what would be the middle. You're at the top or north of the canyon. It runs north-south. You're at the top of the canyon. It's on this outlook that crops out into the canyon, and you see all the canyon. So you even get a better view than Angel's Landing, because you see Angel's Landing. It had to be about 200-300 feet beneath me, maybe half a mile out. And it's not that hard of a hike. It's 6 miles around. I mean, for a normal fat, pasty, dopey, rascal riding Walmart shopping American, oh God, you guys couldn't do it in a million years. But for those of you who aren't fat, disgusting pigs, 6 miles there and back, 700-foot elevation gain. That's about it. And you get to spectacular. You don't even have to pay. Now, you probably should have the parks pass in case the ranger comes by, and I got the annual pass, so I was legit. But I went out there, and I was like, look at this. Look at this. And it scratched at it like, oh, I'm not fully availing myself. I'm not pushing up that rock of syphilis or whatever the hell it is enough. I didn't push it enough. And I was like, oh, we didn't do enough fun. We didn't pack it. We didn't have enough fun. We were forced to be in purgatory because of the rain and sometimes the snow in Vegas. And so I want to make it into Utah. It's to give you an idea, maybe those of you who are adventurers and hikers and motorcyclists, such as cyclists even, it's kind of like the island hopping strategy of World War II. The Allies, or the Americans in that particular case, didn't take all the islands. It just took strategic islands so they could cut off the supply of the Japanese holding islands. So they'd skip over 3 islands, get a key island, and then make sure the supplies are cut off. But it was also so you could be within bombing range. And I think, don't quote me, was it Guam or Midway? What was the one where the B-29s could finally reach Japan? And that was kind of a key one we had to get. Maybe that was Iwo Jima. I don't know. Well, in any case, it's kind of the same thing in Vegas. Like, now I'm in striking distance. I'm not stuck in Milwaukee. I'm not stuck in Minneapolis. It's not a 3-hour flight to land at a major metro, get an overpriced rental car, find some kind of hotel, then drive 8 hours. It's you're within range, a day range. So it only took 2 hours to get to the park. It took 2 hours to get through the park because, again, all you fat dumbass tourists. And you drive through the park, you make it out the east entrance, you head north, there it is. And so I was happy. And we made it back. I was in bed by 9 p.m. I could be an old man schedule, and I still managed to get Zion National Park in one day. It's like, oh, yeah. Macho man Randy Savage. Mean to do this since I was like a little 5-year-old kid. So I packed in the fun. And now, that was yesterday. Literally yesterday, I get back. Most people get to do that once in their lifetime, especially if you live out of the country. And then I did my work. I did some videos earlier today, caught up with everything. Then I went to the gym, despite having my left hand injured. I did all my good things. I caught up with all the projects. All the projects are done. They're online. They're promoted. This, that. I went to Miami last week, hang out with Fresh and Fed, Goody, Bobbity. Okay, get out of here. We exchanged epithets to one another. I do Zion. Get back to all my work. Everything's done. Go to the gym, come back, and I have a cigar. And I'm sitting there still like, gotta do more. Gotta do more. It's not enough. Not enough fun. I couldn't. I was like, oh, I gotta do. Oh, there's nothing to do. Like, literally, I'm caught up at asshole consulting. And there's some minor things like, I gotta close the house down in the Southern Command for the owner. Got this monster weed that just grows like Lord knows whatever. So when I come back here in late fall, this thing is 6 feet long. I'm like, where are you getting the water? I don't water you. I think it's getting it from the neighbors. Maybe it seeps underneath the wall. But in either case, and just sitting there like, how does this get this? I'm spoiled. I'm saying he's got a pool, by the way, in a hot tub. I'm sitting on the back. It's a sunny day, like 80 degrees, smoking a cigar, listening to Critical Drinker. Like, I should have. Oh no, there's nothing else to do. Oh wait, there's nothing to do. Most people would say, I need a day of rest after a full, long day road trip and a hike. You're like, no, Jim, go, dude, we're going to die. Pack it in. Let's go, 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 go. That rock, man, needs constant pushing up the hill. I hope there's a record after you die like this. Like I talked about the baseball statistics. He pushed the rock the most. Yeah, he pushed it the most in many different ways. He did the most rock pushing in the most creative ways. That's what he did. He spent the most time outside. He wasn't inside. He was outside. He spent the most time having fun. He wasn't work. He spent the least amount of working and the least amount of indoors and most of the amount of time. He basically died the way he was born. He was born as a little bit of like a training period, but once he got legs, he was outside. That's the way he died. He was outside hiking. Fell off the cliff, missed that step. Well, he had a great life. And he fell off. And then they call it Cappy's Landing, not Angel's Landing. That'd be too Christian for future America, right? And it's Cappy's Landing. Anyway, so there I am. And here we are. Like, I'll do a podcast. Might as well pack it in because Friday, go to Prescott to do some hiking with a buddy. Finally going to get to visit the talented Mr. Lee in Phoenix. Haven't seen him in years. It's been too long. Been too busy doing adult stuff. We're going to go do some hike someplace in Tempe. I don't know. I'm like, Tempe's got hiking? It's all developed. Where are we going to hike? So we'll go out and do that. Come back. Then we got to go to Atham's graduation. Then we come back here. Then Chad's going to be hanging out here. Maybe he wants to do Zion again, which I'm not against. There's a town. You guys want an interesting thing? All the tourists go to Zion, and as you should. But I ended up doing a motorcycle ride. I went through the middle of nowhere, Nevada. Atham looked this up. I took Highway 93 north of Vegas through a town called Alamo, then Crystal Springs, which there is no town. It literally, it's in the middle of the desert, and there's a beef jerky store in Crystal Springs, and that's it. There's not even a gas station. Then I cut over, went through a town called Caliente, ended up going north into Monaca, and then cut across the Utah border there and went south to a town called Veyo, Veyo. And the town thankfully had gas, and they had a pizzeria. But then there's this pie place, and there's all these convertibles with all these gray hairs who are they're out there having fun. They're on Team Fun. And there's the pie shop. Now I'm on a diet, very strict, very religious. But then you get this debate where, okay, taste is one of the five senses, and you really are depriving yourself, 20% of life experiences if you don't have taste. And it's like, but I want to be sexy. I want to look good naked. I still want to have better sex at 60 than most people do at their 20s, which shouldn't be hard if we all stay in shape, right? Well, we're all on that side too. All right. And I pull in on the motorcycle. I'm like, I'm going to get some pie. I'm going to forgive myself. I found this town, this middle of nowhere town, far southwest corner of Utah. And there's a line. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. How do all these old people know about? Is this all you got to do? Once again, wish for a recession. I poke my head in. There's a line. Yeah, it's all gray-haired white people. Only white people do lines. I know. Probably not. Don't tell me. No, the Latinos, man, will beat you in the line game any day, especially if it's a good breakfast. I don't know. It's just my experiences have been, you go, oh, here's a restaurant. Oh, and here's a line. And everyone's like, it's only 45 minutes. And I immediately count the number of people in the party. I'm like, yeah, 4 people. That's like 3.5 hours, 3 hours of human time wasted. We could all go home and do a ton of chores and then like have an entire evening off for all of ourselves. But you want to sit in the line. And so my philosophies were at battle where like, I should have gotten the pie. I'm not going to wait in line. So I hopped back on my bike, went through Gunlock, waterfalls there, nice little park. Made it back to Vegas. I forgot where I was going with that story. But that town, Veyo, Veyo. So there's the pie place. Oh, you want to do the pie place. That's the second cool reason you should go there. The main reason you should go there is there's a no-joke volcano, like a stratovolcano, like with the cone, a cylinder cone, and the crater in the top. And I, a lot of volcanoes out in Wisconsin. And there's another one in Santa Clara, not too far away. And I start looking at the geography. I'm looking around like, yeah, this is all lava rock. And I looked up, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a volcano. Hopefully it won't go off anytime soon. And so if you want to see some, let's because you're gonna headquarter in St. George. Let's say you do go to Zion National Park. You can almost say you're gonna stay in St. George or Cedar City. Go do the loop around. Go to the other side of that mountain range to the west. Go to Veyo, get the pie. There's a pizza place. Go get your pizza. But I don't know. You go back, say, yeah, we did Zion National Park, but we climbed a volcano, and I don't think it's that high. I think it's only like maybe 600 feet, maybe. Not for you, normal America, not you guys. No, there's Netflix, there's welfare checks, there's stimmy checks, there's your disability check because you came down with a touch of the social anxieties. And it's just all those social worker women just can't cut that check enough for you to stay at home and piss away your life and get fat and get diabetes, have your feet cut off at 28. But for those of you who know you're going to die and you're not a degenerate piece of worthless shit, may I recommend you little side trip out there. Go to Veyo. Check it out. Oh, hey, Vlad Elkham's in the house. Him and I might go up there. If we got up, Chad, if we're doing it early. Like we leave at 5 a.m. because I ain't going through that park again. We're going to go up and around. Athen can look it up for us. Come in from the east side. Not a lot of paved roads in that area. It's going to be a long drive. We're going to do the hike. Depending on traffic, they had pretty good reception up on top of that butte. I'll look at traffic going into the east side entrance of Zion. If it doesn't look like too many, RVs and mom and pop kettles that they're holding up the works, we might go through that part of the park. We've done the north side. We didn't do the south side. And then that'll shoot us out and we can go to Veyo and then make our way back to Vegas. But we're still 50-50 on that. We're still depends on temperature as well. We don't want to be doing that at like 105 degrees. That will not happen. Anyway, so that's where we're here now. Now we got what? So now it's got to pack in as much golf, motorcycle riding. That's tomorrow. It's too windy for motorcycle riding and golf. Oh, I'm spoiled. That's right. You will spoil yourself. You play your cards right. You don't major in dumb stuff. You save your money. You'll be at this stage, but instead of being 48, you'll be 32. Like, what do? I don't know. It's just another 50 years of this stuff. Then you die. As best as I could put it together. Maybe you're lucky enough for Chad to come out and go hiking over at Zion National Park with you. Man, it doesn't get better than that. Hiking with the Chad Elkins. Oh my God. What more is there to life? Anyway, welcome to Good Morning Coronachan. Let me do a little bit of the sponsors, get that out of the way. I'm gonna go through the super chat, stay on top of that, and then I do have a point. This was meandering in my mind, and then the closing, the bankruptcy of Vice and BuzzFeed. Oh yeah, I was gonna look into that one of these days. So a new book, new sponsor. I gotta read it. Vitruvia 144. Okay, this is by SP Daily. If you remember, if you were back in the blogging days, Daily sent me a book called Welcome to the Divide, and it was an absolutely intellectual joy to read. And you guys know I hate reading. It's about humans crossing the divide into virtual living, virtual sentience, and he did a phenomenal job. The first part of that book is a little like, what the hell is he? Why is he talking like Bob Dole in the third person? And it becomes apparent by about the third or fourth chapter. This one I have not read, Vitruvia 144. But if you search SP Daily on Amazon, I'm sure you'll find both books. I have not read it. I cannot vouch for it. But if it's anything like his first book, I would strongly recommend that. Academiccomposition.com. Go to academiccomposition.com so you can have other people write your college papers for you. Although a lot of people are saying ChatGPT has taken that over. Not exactly wrong there either. But if you want an original, go ahead and do that. Also, academiccomposition.com is always hiring marketing people and writers. So if you would like to work from home, contact Alex at academiccomposition.com. Tell him that Cappy sent you. The Way of Monkey book. by Turd Flinging Monkey. That is the modern day Marcus Aurelius meditations book, but for the modern day. Very helpful book. That coincided, TFM came out with that book when I was starting to go to anger management. And not that I didn't know, I even went to the Stoics Club over in the Twin Cities meetup group for a while. And then COVID ended that because we just can't have fun things. But that is, I would say more, it's not that Marcus Aurelius's meditations wasn't practical, but I think the Way of Monkey book is very much more practical for modern times. So it's written for a modern audience and not in that way. Pushing Rubber Downhill by Adam Piggott, both the website, which is his podcast and blog, but then also his book, Pushing Rubber Downhill, is the hero's journey, but he's Australian. It starts off with him riding a rickety 1995 crotch rocket across Australia to meet a girl. He goes from Perth to Sydney, and the girl doesn't pick up his calls. And thus the journey begins. Masculine Geeks, tune in to my friends over at the Masculine Geeks if you like things geekery but masculine. That's why they call it Masculine Geeks. And then also Tipping the Odds Vegas podcast. Tune in to Kevin and Mitch if you want to. I know they talk about Vegas. I think 5% of the time it's just these two old guys going back and forth at each other. It's kind of fun and entertaining. So I tune into those guys. I also listen to them, like kind of get my Vegas news. Like, oh, what's going on? Oh, that's going on in Vegas. All right. Red Evening with Rerb and Jack Napier. And then daybydaycartoon.com. Check out Chris Mears' website, daybydaycartoon.com. He is one of the few boomers I look up to. And Kerry Lutz, financialsurvivalnetwork.com. If you are interested in precious metals and investing over there. All right, super chats. I got nowhere to be. I don't know why I'm in a rush. It's not. It's too windy to do a motorcycle ride. Too windy to go golf. I've already had my cigar. It's 3 p.m. God, I am going to have to join like an old geezers club. The Human Society, $2. Croc hikers go into the main entrance of national parks. Croc, you mean like they got their Croc shoes? They probably do. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I was driving, so I wasn't really doing a lot of, human watching. Did you know, man, 220 Canadian, during the 3-year PSYOP, you saw who your tribe is. I don't have a tribe then. I really don't. I really don't have a tribe. It was cool. You'd occasionally would see some hikers out there. And in Utah, I did see some bustin' boomers out there hiking the southern unit of Canyonlands National Park. So I was like, okay, these guys are out. They're out. They're living life. No mask. Scrolling. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $2. Social workers are here to help troubled youth. No, the social workers are there to treat the troubled youth, not to ever fix them or heal them up. They're there to parasite off of the troubled youth. I'm here to help the troubled youth. You want help? I'm here. Go get my book, Bachelor Pad Economics. Go get the Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. Go take the course, The Dad You Never Had on Teachable. I'm here to help the troubled youth. Karen over at the social department just wants to tell you, oh my God, nothing's ever your fault. And it's all those people's fault. And you need more of other people's money. Are you okay? What's your mental condition like? Why isn't anyone getting fixed? Why are they burning down our buildings? Why are people pooping in the streets? I don't know. You're not a dad. You're not a man. You're a Karen. Not only are you female and can't be male, you're a stupid female on top of it and have no real world working experience and never had to get out of poverty. That's why your social workers can't get these people out of poverty, because you came from the prissy suburbs. Vlad Elkins, who you can subscribe to his channel if you'd like, the Elkins Accounting Hour, $2. So bored. Want to let me on? I want no super chats. Yeah, I can let you on. Let me get through the super chats here and you could come on. And only because you're not going to steal my precious super chats, I will let you on. Chase Robidoux. So set up your equipment, Chad. $5. Just sending some support, Cappy. Graduating grad school with no debt this weekend, then going international for a few weeks. Cool. Good. Hey, Chase, email me at assholeconsulting.com. You have to fill in the form. It doesn't allow you to put attachments on. I'll respond. And yeah, send me some pictures from wherever you're traveling around. Congratulations on graduating. We have an idiot in our circle of friends graduating this month. Let me get Vlad Elkins in. Hang on. I got a billion things open because I want to do some research. No, I need that one. I need that one. Give me a second here. Oh, shit. Hang on, Chet. I can't. Oh, yeah, I can invite you here. Let me get this copy. That's copied. Give me a second. Almost there. She's breaking up. Almost there. Now watch. Oh my God, Twitter, did you let me in without what's your phone number? Let's get Vlad Elkins in on the house. Man, you are bored too, Chad, eh? End of busy season. Vlad Elkins, CPA. All right, it's there. All right. Sam Whiskey. Oh my God, Sam, what the hell? Why do you rarely give 20? What's going on? This is for Vlad's beer fund. No. These are the rules. He said no, he's not taking super chats. This is my fund. This is my not a beer fund. This is my gas fund to go to Arizona this weekend. This is my Poke Bowl fund. I have only had 2 Poke Bowls since I've been down here. That's another thing. I got to avail myself of all this food because surprise, surprise, the culinary industry in Rapid City is not exactly all that in a bag of chips. All right, we're caught up. Let me get rid of that. Are you coming in, Chad, or what? I got topics to go through here. Well, let me read the article while Chad's coming in. This is from the New York Post. Many of you already know about this. This is last week. Vice Media is likely to file for bankruptcy. Report. Vice Media, the Brooklyn-based company that was once the darling of the digital media world, is preparing to file for bankruptcy, according to a report. The filing could happen in the coming weeks, the New York Times reported Monday, citing anonymous sources with knowledge for the matter. Founded by Shane Smith, don't know who he is, whose once high-flying media firm was worth nearly $6 billion. Guys, if you start some basically slander mud-raking website and someone's going to give you just $1 billion for it, you take it, okay? Vice has been looking for a buyer since last year. The Times said that more than 5 companies have expressed interest in acquiring Vice, but the chances of an acquisition happening now are increasingly slim. The looming bankruptcy would mark an end to Vice's wild ride in which Smith sought to disrupt traditional storytelling, mainstream media. Traditional storytelling? What are you talking about? Is that what you call lying? Is that what you calling slander? Is that what you call muckraking? Is that what you call tabloidism? Is storytelling? Mainstream media companies like Disney invested hundreds of millions of dollars in Smith's vision. Who's in charge of really? Disney, you do know you're going to go back to like the 60s, 70s, and 80s where you were dormant. You're going to go back into the dormant world for like 2 decades here. In 2017, a funding round for private equity firm TPG gave the company a bloated valuation of $5.7 billion. Vice includes Vice News, a handful of websites like Munchies and Motherboard, and an advertising agency called Virtue. There was the .com bubble. We're going to sell dog food online. And then there's the social media bubble. Like, but this is journalism. This is like, at least, look, let me explain to you where this concept of intrinsic value, you need to have real value to your business. Now, normally that's profit, but sometimes it could also be assets or patents or copyrights. Vice was just muckraking, which there's more than enough muckraking tabloids on the internet. More than enough. All right. But then there's girls who are cute with nice set of tits. Those one OnlyFans girl in reasonably good shape has more intrinsic value and a cute set of tits on OnlyFans than Vice does all of its little, gossipy, columny drivel. And for those of you wondering, I want to get private equity. I want to get a hedge fund. Although I think you guys have started to see the sheen has fallen off. What idiots in private equity would give this company? They didn't give them $6 billion, but would invest at a rate that would value it at $6 billion. Like these Wall Street guys are not that smart. They really aren't. They are distracted by shiny, glittery objects. Ooh, NFTs. Ooh, crypto. Ooh, and I'm pro crypto. They didn't understand it. Ooh, you're a social media website that does everything that the Daily Mail does and all the British tabloids, but you're American. You got a cool word called Vice? Okay. However, by most accounts, Vice is currently worth a small fraction of that sum. If Vice does file for bankruptcy, the company's largest shareholder, Fortress Investment Group, could end up controlling it, the Times reported. This is what happened to, for those of you who get a very similar story, but it's not as sexy because very few people have Yahoo Mail anymore. Yahoo News, which is equally used toilet paper as Vice. It's just, we hate America, we hate capitalism, OMG, gossip, filth, and trash, all right? Only reason I know about that is because every time I log out of my Yahoo account email, I'm hit with, my eyes are graped by just the filth of America. It was TikTok before it was TikTok. Okay. They are owned by they were owned by Yahoo itself. Then it was AOL or Verizon. And then it was sold to some private investment group. Now it's on its second or third private investment group. Who are these private investment groups? What the hell's wrong with you? Do you actually make money on Yahoo? You look at the editorial board, it's like, okay, what Marxist leftist female-centric shit are we going to throw up today? Good, run with it. In that case, Vice would continue operating normally and run an auction to sell the company over a 45-day period, with Fortress in the position as the most likely acquirer. Fortress, which holds senior debt, would get paid off first in the event of a sale, the report said, noting that investors like Disney, which already took a write-down on its investments. Hey, Disney, did you listen to the SVB lesbian lady who was the in charge of risk analysis? Remember her? And her entire resume was how much she liked licking vagina, not whether she was a mathematical genius or educational credentials. It was that she was for diversity and lesbian and licking vagina. Did you consult? Did she tell you to buy that? Let's see if Chad's in here. There you go.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. You like this mezzanine trance financing that these private equity groups and hedge funds throw all this money? You enjoying seeing these finance bros take a hit on all these dumbass investments?
See, that's the thing that just makes life worth living, especially post wasteful MBA life. That's fantastic. Tell me more.
What do you estimate the chances are the people, whether it was Fortress Investment or whoever, that decided to buy a controlling share or lend senior debt notes to Vice, as well as the SVB and all that, what do you think the chances are they had their MBAs?
99%.
99%. I agree.
Yes. Those places breed that type of stupid shit.
What? I never got into that hedge fund investment banking alternative. Is it as like you couldn't make it into Goldman, so you got kicked down and you went into some no-name hedge fund or private equity group or something like that?
The ones that I went to school with, and you can imagine I wasn't friends with any of them, so
right.
They mostly had, oops, that's coming in hot. They mostly had rich parents. I mean, very, very rich parents that made their own money on Wall Street. So Junior there doesn't want to work, 1,000 hours as an investment banker or doing something with a major bank, on Wall Street. Instead, they want to have their play money and start their little hedge fund and see if they can grift all the masses into giving it to them.
So do the parents give them the seed capital to run it with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
At least the ones that I knew did. One of the things I hated about my program, and I'm just being honest, were all the rich kids in it. I mean, just ugh.
I too hated all the rich kids in my program.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Because they were spoiled and never had to work hard
Because
for
rich kids are
anything.
assholes, generally
Yes.
speaking. Yeah. I
Yes.
met a rich kid who was nice. He worked hard, but for him, there's 99 assholes. So yeah, it's.
Yes.
But for those of you who are majoring in finance, I'm gonna work for a hedge fund or a private equity group. No, they're not going to hire you. They're going to hire their buddies, and it's a money losing
Yes.
operation.
Yep.
But all right, I gotta go back here. Senior Disney, which took a write down of its investments, wouldn't get a return. Vice Media, this is a quote. Vice Media Group has. Are you ready for the double speak? Are you ready
Can't
for
wait.
the spin? Here we go. Vice Media Group has been engaged in a comprehensive evaluation of strategic alternatives and planning, a Vice rep said Monday. The company, its board, and stakeholders continue to be focused on finding the best path for the company. Founded as Vice Magazine in 1994 by the bombastic Smith, the firm steadily made its push to video and TV. Was Vice ever on TV?
I don't remember that. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Right. By 2013, Vice had its own weekly news show on HBO. Okay, so they were on TV. 3 years
HBO.
later, it launched a cable channel, Viceland, which slumped in the ratings. Under Smith, Vice had big hopes of becoming a media juggernaut with revenue touching $1 billion by 2015. What do you think is a pet peeve of mine when they quote revenue?
They're not factoring in expenses, because if you're making $1 million in revenue, but your expenses are 2 million, you have a bankrupt company. Is that
Right.
it?
And yeah, that's it. Because all these, dude, this was so obvious in the dot-com days. Where you're like, oh, they had sales go up 25%. I'm like, what about their profits? And they, instead of using price to earnings, because there was no earnings, they use price to sales. Do you remember those days?
Yes, I do. I do. I absolutely remember that.
Oh God, you got just, and it fooled me at first, but then it exposed itself because I was working security late at night and I watched CNBC Squawk Box and all that when this was happening. I'm like, yeah, but they ain't got no profits. And then you realize like, oh, this is it. They're not that smart.
Right.
These people are all on a scam. They're running a scam. That's what they're doing. And so for those of you who are like, you look at something, you're like, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. All finance people say, well, you don't understand, you see, because of future CAGR growth and EBITDA. Guys, if it doesn't make a profit, it's worth shit. That's it. That's how simple it is.
This bleeds over into my business. It's not always therapists, it's other people who claim they made all this money. I'm like, whoa, good job. And then I see what they spent, and it's like, okay.
Of course, they make payments on their estimated taxes on that money, right? That's the first thing they do because they know they got to pay that, right?
They're just so responsible. They make my life so easy every year.
And it's your fault they got to pay in, I bet.
And they hate the news I give them.
Oh. Under Smith, media juggernaut, making $1 billion by 2015. According to the Times, Disney explored buying Vice for more than $3 billion that year after investing hundreds of millions. A deal never happened, and Vice was getting squeezed by the challenging digital advertising market. Meanwhile, a series of critical reports in 2018 on how Vice was built on bluffs and smokes and mirrors by Smith, who reportedly oversaw a toxic work environment of female staff. That's not good, but they weren't making no money.
Right.
Damaged the company and its founder. Dubik left Vice in February after a 5-year stint as CEO. Her departure is blah, blah, blah. Vice's fortune were souring by 2019. The HBO show and the cable channel were canceled. News leaked out that Vice ponied up $1.8 million to settle a pay disparity class action lawsuit filed by female employees, and Smith was replaced as CEO by A&E boss Nancy Dubuck. Under Dubuck, there has been several rounds of reorganizations across the company, which has not only helped cut costs but also grow revenue. The Wall Street sounds like she actually kind of went in there with a financial mind. The Wall Street Journal reported last year that Vice has estimated it will hit $1 billion in revenue by the end of 2023. Well, why would a company that's going to hit $1 billion in revenue this year, Chad, file for pay? I don't get it. They're making so much money.
It's as though they never took accounting 101.
Right. Or did a personal budget. The CEO left the company this year after helping clean up its toxic workplace culture. Last week, the company said it was closing Vice World News, a global reporting initiative that covered world conflict and human rights abuses, which the news outlets was known for under Smith. All right. So that's one. What do you remember Vice for?
Vice. I mean, is Vice the one that used to do those like the clickbaity type things? Is that what that was? I
It's a
never really paid
tabloid.
attention to that stuff.
Yep. Yep. It's a tabloid. And so I didn't know it went back to 1994. But if you're doing clickbaity titles on the internet, like, oh my God, 14 things you'll never believe what happens next. I don't believe that's very, especially in the 2020s, a insightful or unique strategy,
No.
especially when all bloggers and YouTubers use it as well. So, all right, I'm going somewhere with this. All right, so you got Vice. Who's their twin sister in this world?
Would this be BuzzFeed?
BuzzFeed.
Yeah, just as
From
bad.
you, yeah, USA Today, BuzzFeed News is shutting down, CEO says, as company
Good.
cuts 15% of workforce. I'm kind of confused. If they're shutting down, what percent of their workforce should they cut?
All of them.
Right. The title's a little confusing. BuzzFeed News, which won a Pulitzer Prize less than 2 years ago. Okay,
Oh,
there you
jeez.
never. Does the Oscars mean anything?
No.
Does the Nobel Peace Prize mean anything?
No.
Does the Pulitzer Prize mean anything?
No.
No. There you guys go. Is shutting down. BuzzFeed chief executive Jonah Peretti announced the shutdown Thursday morning in a memo to employees as the media company plans to cut 15% of its workforce. While layoffs are occurring across nearly every division, we've determined that the company can no longer continue to fund BuzzFeed News as a standalone organization, Peretti said in a memo shared with USA Today. We faced more challenges than I can count in the past few years, Peretti continued. Dealing with all these obstacles at once is part of why we've needed to make the difficult decision to eliminate more jobs and reduce spending. It's close. I don't get this reduce. Like it ends. We could pay you until this day. We got to shut it down. I don't know what this reduce thing is. BuzzFeed's business, content, tech, and administration teams are also part of the cut. Why is BuzzFeed shutting down? Peretti listed the following challenges that played a role in BuzzFeed News shutting down: COVID-19 pandemic, tech recession, tough economy, declining stock market. Does a tech recession, tough economy, declining stock market have anything to do? And I guess I would throw in the pandemic there. Should that have any effect on a tabloid website?
No. I mean, isn't that like me saying, well, I'm going to have to shut down my business. The stock market's been going down, so I just don't know how I'm going to be able to make it work.
Do you know how this show, goofy as it is, Good Morning Coronachan, came into existence?
You were looking for something to do during the pandemic?
I was bored. I woke up
Like
every
I
morning.
was.
Hey, Morning Coronachan, listen. Do you know what happened to all the super chats and the viewership when the pandemic happened?
It must have shot through the roof because people were
Through
getting
the roof.
free money and they had time, right? So
It was how it's like getting a headwind. Like you're in a plane, you get a headwind of 100 miles an hour, and your flight is delayed. Like it's like not a headwind, a tailwind. It's like this doesn't make any sense. It should help you. Decelerating digital advertising market, that I believe, ongoing audience and platform shifts, the integration of BuzzFeed and Complex. I could have managed these changes better as the CEO of this company, and our leadership team could have performed better despite these circumstances, Peretti said. I made the decision to overinvest in BuzzFeed News because I love your work and mission so much. What is BuzzFeed News mission and work, Chad? What do you imagine it is?
just to get people to click on their stupid articles that are full of gossip and yeah,
Can you love filth?
filth. Yeah, I
Can
love
you
it.
personally, no, personally, like, could you, Chad Elkins, love tabloid filth, slandering yellow journalism?
No, but I did date Cuddlebooks once, so I'm
Okay,
capable of loving some things that you shouldn't love. So
right. But I question. I know he's doing PR stuff, but I question if he actually was like, man, I love yellow and brown journalism. I love just wasting people's times. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you got some moral issues there. You got some moral
It's
issues.
disgusting.
It is. This may be slow to accept that the big platforms wouldn't provide the distribution or financial support required to support premium free journalism. Because, Chad, you know what I need more of?
We need more free journalism.
We need more independent journalists. We need more journals out there. I especially like the type who work for free for the Huffington Post just to tell me their opinions, right?
Well, they do it for followers, and then you see they have about 112 followers on Twitter.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Oh,
Known for writing stories aiming at younger audiences, the outlet had won several awards in recent years, most notably a Pulitzer Prize for international reporting in 2021, which focused on the Chinese internment camps and the mass detention of Muslims. All right, that might have actually been a little bit of real journalism you guys did. In December, BuzzFeed cut 12% of its workforce, Variety reported, which came after BuzzFeed News was cut by 1.7. Am I confused? Is there a larger parent corporation to this?
So that's what I was wondering when they kept saying, like, they're not getting rid of everybody. They're just, I don't know, reshuffling or something. I think somebody owns Vice. Or
well, this is BuzzFeed now.
BuzzFeed.
All right, here, maybe there's a little bit more information. Peretti said Huffington Post, which was acquired by BuzzFeed in 2020, and BuzzFeed.com signaled they will open a number of select roles for BuzzFeed news staffers laid off. So there's a parent company still remaining?
There has to be, the way this article's sounding.
Is it surprising to you that a journalist at USA Today didn't give us this clear information?
See, why would I want to know the facts when I can just listen to their rampant speculation about something I don't care about?
These roles will be aligned with those divisions' business goals and match the strengths and skills of many BuzzFeed news editors and reporters, Peretti said. Moving forward, we'll have the single news brand in Huffington Post, which is profitable with a loyal, well, they don't pay their journalists. No wonder they're profitable, with a loyal direct front page audience. So, okay, it sounds like BuzzFeed bought Huffington Post.
Yeah.
But Huffington Post makes the money, so the overall company is still solvent. It's just that BuzzFeed as a brand name will be eliminated.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading here. So yeah, BuzzFeed owned itself. It's just now they're downsizing, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you married a poor woman and then you pissed away all your money, but she inherited billions of dollars from her passing away father and an inheritance. Now she's got the money, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of like that. All right. Now, let me ask you something. You've been with me a long time. We've been friends for quite some time. What was probably the weirdest and most unique thing that has happened to me in my career that was also probably the single best thing to happen to me in my career? And notice I don't take this seriously as a career because journalism and podcasting and all this is not a career.
Wow, this is a bit of a tough question because I might need a hint just because.
Okay, let's go back in Cappy history, okay?
Okay.
I would say ASL Consulting was a year old. I was just starting to get into YouTube, and I was still most notably known for blogging.
Yes. Wait, I think I know. I think I know the answer. Did you go viral when you were talking about that one movie? What was it? Mad
Max. Mad
Yeah,
Max.
you wrote an article like making fun of the whole roundhouse kicking.
Not even that. Not even that. It's available if you guys want to read it. They were talking about how they brought in a feminist to direct it, and it's going to be feminine, female, this and female. I said I simply wrote an article saying I'm not going to watch it because it's feminist.
Yeah.
Now I've written way more controversial stuff. I've been way more biting in my writing and insulting to people. For whatever reason, this one took off like a shot. And in 1 week, I got a 20% bump in my lifetime subscribers, which was great. It just, boop. Who do you think wrote articles about? Now, everyone wrote articles about me, but who do you think wrote articles about this, making fun of me and everything like that?
I'm going to say like either Huffington Post or Jezebel or what are those horrible?
Well, they all did.
Yeah.
Boldy, I think it's Condé Nast owns a lot of those publications. A lot of those, but the two companies that just went bankrupt or ending or whatever, they predictably wrote articles about me.
Oh, they did.
Right. Now, I understand that's the business model. And I understand that that's all. I was the hot topic for a day. I mean, I made the front page in some freaking Swedish newspaper. Like how boring of a day was it in Sweden that I made the front page, but I'm not going to see a feminist movie?
You picked up some Sven fans, I'm sure.
Who knows? You ever wonder what happened to the people who wrote those articles about me 8 years ago?
Well, I'm sure that they found themselves employer challenged at various times. Did you go
let's
back
go.
and look?
I went back and I looked because I remember all these like smirky, smarmy, smug millennial 20-something journos like
With
doing
their
their
problem
thing.
glasses,
Oh yeah. It just and so I went back, I said, okay, well, let me see if BuzzFeed and Vice wrote about me. And sure enough, here it is. This is from BuzzFeed. This was written by a Lori Penny.
Lori Penny.
In 2015.
That name sounds familiar.
Why? Does it sound familiar?
She's actually okay. Lori Penny is somebody I've read about before. She basically made a career. If it's the same one I'm thinking of, she's British, and she made a career of basically writing stupid articles like that. Is that
define career?
Well, no, okay, that's overstating
define career as like it generates enough income and generally produces something of value to society, but that's just me.
She created some niche, but that doesn't mean it was a profitable niche. She created
I'll be honest,
niche.
shit. I'm surprised you even heard of this person. So here she is, Mad Max as a feminist playbook for surviving dystopia. She
went after Roosh. Let me just interrupt. She went after Roosh one time. That's how I remember her. Yeah.
Okay, well, she went after Roosh, and Roosh is actually way more successful. Yeah. So you could go through and read this, but then I go and you look up. Let me get her name. I'm evil incarnate. She doesn't have a page at BuzzFeed anymore. Where'd it go? Hang on. What was it? Lori Penny?
Lori Penny, yeah. Let me see if I can find
Penny. Her. I gotta look it up here. Okay. She has a Wikipedia entry. You ready?
Ready.
Lori Penny, British journalist and writer. Penny has written articles and publications for. You ready for these high quality publications?
I cannot wait.
The Guardian, the New York Times, and Salon. Penny is a contributing editor at the New Statesman and author of several books on feminism. I'm going to save the audience some time. I looked them up. Guess what?
They are not in existence anymore, hopefully?
No, they are in existence. They are nowhere near as ranked as, like, my worst ranked book does better than hers. Chad, did I set out to become an author in my life?
No.
Do I have the benefit of having a multi-billion-dollar media empire behind me?
No.
Do I have the benefit of multi-billion-dollar platform behind me?
No, and you're also not McKinsey or PwC, those guys, Booz Allen Hamilton.
Right. Did I aim to become an author at any point? I mean,
I don't think you did.
Did I major in English literature?
Thankfully not.
No. Let's continue, shall we?
Yes.
Oh, but I'm just saying, she got a couple books out. They're not doing well. Now, if I had written, I think she's written 3 or 4 books. That takes a lot of effort and work. And man, if I was in the industry, I'm trying to think what this would be like banking. It'd be like if you worked as an accountant, which you do, and 85% of your tax filings you've done on the behalf of your clients got kicked back by the IRS or rejected. Is that possible? Like where they say this is wrong or something?
I mean, you could say that they got audited or they got notices. Like all the tax returns I did, eventually they got notices saying something was wrong. In this example, yeah.
Right, okay. Or it would be like me being a credit analyst, and instead of having damn near 100% record on predicting whether or not loans would be paid back or not, maybe even 100%. Like I say, yeah, make all these loans, and 85% of them end up going into delinquency or default, right? I would have been a failure, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, she ain't a successful author. You guys could look it up.
I can't wait. You got to read her personal life, man, because I'm on the Wikipedia.
I'm going through it right now.
Oh my God. This is just
Penny, the author of several books on feminism, which is just everybody's favorite topic.
Yeah.
And they have also written did you catch that, Chad?
They.
And they have also written for American television shows,
See, that
including
was
The
below.
Haunting.
Yeah.
The Haunting by Bly Manor. Have you heard of that show?
I have not.
Have you heard of The Nevers?
I haven't.
Neither have I.
I don't know any of these.
But I see a picture of one person. It looks like a female.
Does it?
This must be a typo where it says they, right? It's got to be a typo, right?
When you get to the bottom, you'll understand.
Early life and education. Born in London to lawyers, different descent. Grew up here. Penny suffered from anorexia as a teenager and was hospitalized with a condition age 17. Do I begrudge people who are suffering from mental conditions to the point they go to a hospital?
I don't think you do.
No, I do
that
not.
means they're legit.
They're legit. Right. No, I don't wish that upon someone. Do I want to take any advice with someone with that in their background?
God, no.
No. They recovered from the illness and wrote about the experience from a feminist perspective in their book. Chad, do I want to read a book written by a 17-year-old child?
From a feminist perspective, I'll bet you'd be all ears on that one.
Red-pilled, libertarian 17-year-old kid. Do I want to read a book by a 17-year-old kid?
No, but I appreciate the feminist take on somebody who shouldn't be giving any advice about anything whatsoever.
Okay. Let me ask you. All right. London. Where's London located?
London is in the United Kingdom.
And what subpart of the United Kingdom is it in?
It is in England.
What language came out of England?
I knew you were going to do this. English, even though she probably studied English, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's right in there.
All right. Born in England, where English is in the main town. London is the most English of towns. Penny attended the independent school at Brighton College before studying English at Wenham College. Chad, did I study English?
We didn't study English. No.
Why are my books more successful?
Because they actually have information about something interesting, real life, not English.
You just say, I don't write shit books. How's that?
Yeah.
Career. You ready? Here we go. Career. Penny's blog, Penny Read, was launched in 2007, was shortlisted on the Orwell Prize for blogging in 2010. Chad, have you heard of the Orwell Prize?
I have never heard of it, but man.
Does it matter now that the Pulitzer doesn't mean jack F all shit?
No, but what a name, huh? Orwell Prize.
Oh, man. Penny went on to become a columnist at The Independent in 2012. I believe that's a British tabloid.
It is.
And then a columnist and contributing editor for the New Statesman. They're a regular contributor to The Guardian, which is rank leftist, not journalism.
Yes.
In April 2011, they presented the Channel 4 Dispatches programming, cashing in on degrees, and also appeared on Channel 4's satirical current affairs program, 10 o'clock live, and on BBC's 2 News site. I diggity.
That cashing in on degrees is like dangerously close to like your area.
Yeah, but how much you want to bet? I need more. I need my doctorate in English. I don't speak it good enough. In 2012, let me ask you something, Chad. If we were to go through, obviously she's writing her own Wikipedia page. And I don't know if you know this about journals and their Wikipedia pages. They list every little thing as an accomplishment because they don't have any big ones.
Right.
Like if you go to their LinkedIn pages, it's like, dude, I would have skipped over that. Like, that's not really, you get the bullet points. I would say, okay, banker from these years to these years, analyst and economist from these years to these years, ballroom dance instruction on the side, degree, these are the years I attended. I think that'd be about it. If I have a Wikipedia, I would say, wrote these books, link, runs Asshole Consulting, link, host of these 2 podcasts on his YouTube channel here, link, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, bobbity boo, right? Would I say on October 24th, 1996, broke the record for fastest response times at the University of Minnesota Police Department Security Services Division?
I would think that we talked about this on my show. You haven't had to update your resume in 15 years or something?
Yeah, it's coming up on that, 12, 13 years. Yeah. I'm not going to either.
There's no need.
Do Do you put the fact, like, she had like one-time appearances on these different shows? Do you put every time you were on like the CBS News Good Morning show?
No. And I've been on all of them in the last like 5 years. I've been on all of these local channels because they just want to talk to a tax person during tax season. All I do is mention it here and maybe on social media.
Right. You don't put it on your resume, right?
No, it's not on my website. It's not on my. I mean, I don't even have a resume.
Is that a great accomplishment to you that you made it on a show one time?
No, they were just too lazy to. Everybody said no, but they found someone who was like, "Yeah, I'll give you a few minutes," and only because one of them was a client of mine, someone who worked there.
In 2012, Tatler Magazine. Do you know Tatler Magazine?
Never heard of it.
I have not heard of one thing except for The Independent and The Guardian. Describe Penny as one of the top 100 people who matter. Oh, shit, Chad.
Oh, who matter, huh?
Matter.
This is what you have to do to matter, apparently.
Trophy, participation trophy, much the 100 people who matter.
Oh, God.
Did I tell you I was in a competition of like, what was it? It was a vodka bottle, like Smirnoff or something. They had a good man is hard to find competition. It was kind of like a Mr. Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I entered the competition. I made it to the next round, which I thought was kind of impressive. Have I ever told you about that or put that on my resume? No. I think it's the first time I mentioned that. In October 2012, the Daily Telegraph ranked Penny as the 55th most influential left-winger.
Left-winger. Okay, you're the 55th most influential left-winger.
Describing them as, without doubt, the loudest and most controversial female voice on the radical left.
Oh.
And the knowledge networking company Editorial Intelligence awarded Penny its Twitter Public Personality Award. Oh,
Personality Award. Yeah, this is somebody I want to be spending a lot of time hanging out with.
In 2015, and notice this is 2015 is like the last career entry.
That's what
it's
it looks like.
8 years ago. Yeah.
That's just a long time ago.
2015 was a Neiman Fellow at Harvard. Okay, good for you. Several of Penny's articles have provoked criticism, including a 2014 article from the New Statesman that argued short hair on women was a political statement, and a 2015 article defending vandalism on the monument to the women of World War II. Like, this is just a despicable person on top of it.
This is...
But it's a pretty dumb person, too, where it's like, Chad, if I'm going to write an article, I did, by the way, for those of you who were blogger readers, I did post an article last week on how to make education free. And not only that, but how to view it. It should be a right. And I came up with a philosophical way. Now, that's a little weighty, right? Making education a right, free education a right. Yeah. And I came up with a way, and I'm a libertarian, so it's not going to cost any more money, but I figured out a way to do it. Would that pique your interest or be of interest to you?
Yeah, I keep forgetting to go to your blog because I forgot that you still write there, to be honest.
I don't. This is the first article I've written in a year. My point is, I wrote about something that is weighty, important, and if implemented, would save society trillions of dollars by my estimation, make life better for everyone. She put in her Wikipedia entry that she wrote a controversial article about whether or not short hair on women has a political meaning. This is about as important as to whether or not your sports ball team wins the Doodad Trophy or not, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't understand why she even has a Wikipedia entry. Like, I thought you had to sort of be approved somehow.
I guarantee you she has a connection, like someone's a moderator, like if you go to any journalist or someone who's on social media, it's indulgent, it's way too long, it's belabored, and this is just them like, oh, yeah, I got a Wikipedia, I won the Orwell Award, yay.
That's
publications. Penny is the author of 7 books, including Bitch Doctrine, Unspeakable Things, and Everything Belongs to the Future. Penny's book, Penny Read Notes of the New Age of Dissent, was shortlisted for the first, are you ready for this award? You've heard of this award,
I'm reading along, yep.
The Bread and Roses Award for Radical. It's not just she won the award, they had to subcategorize it into Radical Publishing in 2012. Their 7th book, Bitch Doctrine, Essays for Dissenting Adults was long listed for the 2018 Orwell Prize.
We're back to the Orwell Prize.
Penny has also written for streaming TV, contributing to episodes of the Netflix show Haunting of Bly Manor and HBO's The Nevers, and acted as a story editor on Carnival Row.
Haven't heard of any of them.
All right, here we go.
Read the
only because it's on Wikipedia here. It's public information. Penny came out as genderqueer, pansexual, and polyamorous in 2015. Do I care?
No.
Do I think anything less of her?
I don't think it matters either way.
It doesn't matter. No.
Yeah.
In 2020, Penny stated a preference for the pronouns they, them. Did you run out of stuff to do, Penny? What?
There you go.
Was it a boring 5 years? They also use she, huh? You cut out there for a second.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. They also use she, her pronouns, although they consider them to be less accurate. In 2020, Penn married in Los Angeles, California. Penny has stated that they have post-traumatic stress disorder and autism.
Autism, yes.
There's where I question it. Where it's like, you better be legit. Like, because there are people who suffer from PTSD and autism.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you're just a bored little girl who's got nothing else going on.
That was what I was afraid of. That's why I was like, read the personal life and see if this helps explain it. Or
all I want to go here's why I wanted to go through this. Who won? Not that there was a competition, but who's winning?
Not her. Or
not
sorry,
her.
them, not they, or
whatever. All right. And I remember everyone like, oh my God, are you all right? Oh my God, are you all right? I'm like, look, it's the tabloids. These are nobodies.
Right.
And have you seen the meme where there's one person standing in front of like literally thousands? There's a black and white drawing. People are just drawn as very kind of simple figures. And the one person is saying, you're all wrong.
Yes, I've seen that.
That's what that was. And if there's one thing I could kind of convey to my audience from an intellectual standpoint, is especially nowadays, like look at these people. Now, this is one example. And we're going to go through another, but I'm not going to go through all of them because Lord knows how many idiots wrote articles about me. But for a fun experiment, go look up Aaron Clary, Mad Max, see who wrote the article, and look them up now because it's been 8 years. But these people, well, I wouldn't say they're even sane, but they don't matter. These are not stable, intellectually honest people. Chad, how many people do you think actually read my article that I wrote about Mad Max?
I'm going to say very few because they probably just saw the headline and they're like, oh,
crazy guy. But that's the business model of all these fake media establishments, some of which were actually like legit mainstream media establishments that went out there. So BuzzFeed and Vice are just muckrakers. That's all they are.
Right.
It's just clickbait, shock, and all that. But it goes to the mainstream media as well.
It does.
Yeah. And I just like, who do you want? Look, you may not agree with me politically, but look through my track record. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's not there. I can't find her. I don't think she's on Twitter. But if we wanted to do like who's got the bigger dick, I do. In her own field that I never aimed for. And I will point out one other thing. Like, if you are within the industry with all that support and infrastructural support and access to these platforms, the only way you are not as successful is because you don't work as hard. That's it. And this is a freaking hobby for me. This is a freaking hobby. So that was her. Let's go to the BuzzFeed one. Oh no, that's the article, USA Today. No, where'd it go? Oh, darn it. I missed hang on. Let me type
You were reading. Yeah.
Hang on.
Okay.
Aaron Clary, Vice. I could search it. It's very easy. So here's Vice. This is 2015. And the guy who wrote this was Drew Millard. Let me see. Nope, that's not what I wanted to click on. Here. How many subscribers do I got on Twitter, Chad?
I don't know. Let me check.
Take a look. I'll wait.
Let me guess before I look.
Tall and tan.
Are you
and
up to
young
5
and-
figures on this? Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
probably.
girl from Ipanema goes walking.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
down
you're almost at 22,000.
22,000. Now,
Yeah.
Chad, did I study journalism?
No.
Did I go into the world to be a journalist?
No.
If I spent 20 years at journalism and some rando banking idiot economist guy had more subscribers than me, would I be pissed that
I
some nobody who didn't aim to be a journalist is beating me at being a journalist?
I think they would feel like kind of like they're losers, but they probably feel like that a lot anyway.
All right, Drew Miller, 13,006, so a little bit more than
Okay.
half.
Okay.
All right, but it's like words in the Atlantic Pitchfork. Gawker, is Gawker still a thing?
I thought Gawker's dead. Didn't they
Wait a
die?
minute, hang on, Gawker.
Gawker's not around anymore.
Is
Because Hulk
Gawker?
Hogan sued them
Oh,
because they
that's
had
right. That's like a
that
third one.
that was
Yeah.
Gawker, right?
He still has it on his resume.
Gawker. Yeah, you can't. Ooh. Yeah,
So
it's gone.
it's gone. He has a book, How Golf Can Save Your Life.
Oh, maybe
many
you should read
reviews?
that.
How many reviews? Hang on. Let me click on it.
You like golf? Maybe it'll save your life.
Kindle and hardcover. Now let me scroll down. Let me look at the rank. Okay, I do have a rank. Now, in fairness to him, this was launched. Wait a minute. It launches tomorrow. I take that back. It launches tomorrow. That's very interesting timing. All right.
Mhm.
Do you think this is going to outsell my books?
How golf can save your life. He has less followers than you. I've never heard of him. I don't think so. I don't.
Okay,
Do you think?
well, Chad, let's go through his LinkedIn profile, shall we?
Why not?
Look at this. Look at this. This Peter Jennings juggernaut of a journalist over here. Drew Miller, writer and editor, Philadelphia, has 1,000 followers on LinkedIn. I don't know how many followers I got on LinkedIn.
Drew Millard, right? Millard.
Millard. He is a freelance writer and editor, self-employed.
Oh, well, he's one of us.
For the past 3 years and 2 months, I'm currently writing a book about golf for Abrams Press. In the past few months, I have written for The Nation, Vice, and GQ.
Ooh.
So Vice is gone. The Nation, that's just rank Marxist slop. GQ, that has nothing to do with men anymore.
No.
If you'd like to work with me, please contact me. And there's his email.
He went to UNC. It's one of my undergrad's academic rivals.
All right. Editor, Friends with Benefits. He was the editor there for 1 year and 3 months. I don't know what Friends with Benefits is.
Me neither, except a terrible movie I was forced to watch once.
Member of an editorial team advancing conversations about Web3 art and culture. You know, we don't have enough websites and web magazines talking about pop culture.
No,
we need another one. Hang on. Let me take a look at Friends with Benefits website. Friends with Benefits. Oh, that's a dating site. Friends with Benefits.
He was part-time there up until last month. Maybe that ceased to exist too.
How bad is it if I look up Friends with Benefits, I don't find this website?
That's pretty bad.
Okay, Indie Weekly contributing editor. He was there for 6 months. Also Raleigh-Durham. The Outline, 2 years. Features editor, contributing editor, weekend editor, associate editor, features editor, BA in communications, creative writing. Now, with that fine LinkedIn profile, what do you think is going to happen to the sales?
The sales. I think that you're going to win if it's a contest between the two of you.
There's always a chance. He could do well. He could do very well. But I'm going to guess it has like a rank already. So I don't know if people are already pre-ordering, but with pre-orders, he's at 289,000th place.
That seems like I don't know. Does that seem like there's a thumb on the scale there? That doesn't seem right.
No, I'll be perfectly honest about all these journals. I don't think their higher ups or working in journalism gives them the advantage they think it does. I think there's so many of them, and so many of them write books or write blog posts that's why Huffington Post can get away with not paying these people. And so when they might work in the publishing industry, but Simon and Schuster isn't going to pick these people up.
Right.
And so when I look at the Amazon sales rank, even if it's I don't know much about pre-sales, 289, that's not that good. Like that's obviously self-published, which I'm sympathetic with because I'm self-published. But if that translates into his real sales starting tomorrow, like if he's at 289,000th place and that's the day he launched, that's horrible.
It's bad. I don't really know how it works.
That is bad. Well, like, you know, I helped edit Myron's book. Like within a week, he went to number 10 on all of Amazon's list.
Wow.
All. Yeah. He went to number 1 on feminist, dating, psychology, you know, the subcategories. But on all books, he went to number 10. Now he has 1 million plus subscribers. If I come out with a new book, usually I'm in between 1 and 2,000th place at peak as all the people in this guy is 289,000th.
Okay, so that's a bad start.
Right. And do you want to read a book about how golf saved this guy's life?
Not really. Like, why should I care about this guy? You know, he's not known.
Let me see how many pages it is.
Let me see. I have more LinkedIn followers than him. Jeez.
240 pages. All right, that's a serious book. All right, I'll tip my hat to that.
So it's a real book.
He put some effort into it. Absolutely. He wrote a real book. It's not like a 30-page essay or something like that. So I'm sure he put his effort into it, but I don't know. A serious question. Why did he need golf to save his life? Was things not going well?
That's about the only compelling reason I can think to possibly just read about the book on Amazon, not buy it, just read.
I thought they knew everything 8 years ago. I thought they knew everything, and they were our moral authority, our arbiters of thought and ethics. I don't know. Should we try another one here?
Who else we got?
Well, all I have to do is type in Aaron Clary, Mad Max, and we'll pull up another GQ. You want to do GQ?
Let's do GQ. Are you even on LinkedIn, just out of curiosity?
I am. Do you want to look and see how many people I got subscribing to? I don't really pay attention to it. Luke Darby. Luke
Darby. Well, yeah.
And
here.
He was writing for GQ until 2021. Let's take a look at Luke Darby. I'm not saying that I'm thinking one of them has got to be successful. Like there are successful people. I'm wondering how much of it is kind of like lawyers, where it's like, or better yet, how much you want to bet the income distribution on journalists is almost the same as OnlyFans girls, where it's like only the top 5% make like 98% of the money, and it just drops like a rock.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. It's the same with actors and actresses who I don't have them as clients anymore, but I noticed that with them. Really, it's haves and have-nots.
All right. Luke Darby, bio, latest news.
Luke Darby.
He resides in Cleveland, and that's not, that doesn't, Luke Darby, The New Yorker, Wired, Instagram. This could be a different Luke Darby. I don't know. Kind of looks like a journalist. I've got style. I've got flair. I was there. That's how I became.
Are you on his website? I found his website.
I'm just trying to find some kind of social media. Again, not that social media is the end all be all. I just like pointing out that for younger people listening, you think you're going to become some kind of journalist and you're going to like write, basically shit and filth and oh my God, OMG drama and all that. You're just, it's not a paying field. And here's, these people obviously disagreed with me and oh my God, look at this idiot, Luke Darby. Here's the muckrack. Yeah. All right. He's a sensitive guy. He's in touch with his feelings, ladies. Luke Darby.
His website.
Let me go. Maybe his website is it lukedarby.com. Okay. Now maybe we could find links to Twitter, right? If you had a website, Chad, you would link to things.
And I do. And I've already done this work for you. You click on his bio, it's a dead link. And then there was a link to his Twitter. You click on that, and then it says this account doesn't exist.
Well, here we are. He's a hiker. There's a picture of him hiking.
So we have his website. Yeah.
But okay, let's go to Twitter.
That link didn't work when I tried it.
This account doesn't exist.
Yeah, what do you think happened there?
I think he's just a regular lazy. Why do you major in journalism, Chad?
Because he didn't want to work hard?
You didn't want to work, but you want to be brave and amazing and tell people what to think. At 17 years old, when you declare your major. Ugh. Yeah, so I mean, we can't find Luke. You want to do another one?
Yeah, let's. This is kind of fun.
This reminds me. So me and the Great One, when I'd go visit him in Fort Collins, he had all these paper clippings from the Coloradan, I believe it was called, and that was the Fort Collins College newspaper. And it was very interesting by accident what he did, but he lived in that place for almost 20 years. So he had all these old articles, newspaper clippings and articles he had. I said, let's go to the bottom of the pile. And we started pulling out all these articles from 10, 15 years ago, written by Jessica Jones and Jason Johnson and all that. And you look these people up. Oh my God, Chad, you can't even find them, man. But it's kind of the same thing. Just a bunch of miserable, pissed off leftists who are poor and don't have no money. And I don't know if I would necessarily call them failures. I mean, failures in life in one regard, but if your goal is just to, I don't know, slow down the economy and bring about socialism, even that you're kind of failing at. And I just kind of like, what was the whole point and purpose in this? Like, and generally, obviously, for my personal interest, like, see, you're going to listen to these people? You know, just look at these people. They can't manage life.
They can't.
And they were given platforms in the past, and especially now with all those prizes and awards mentioned, none of that means anything now.
Mm-mm.
So for all you younger people, and so, well, I have these degrees and these awards. Like, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Aaron Clary, what was the name? Mad Max. Mad Max was the name of them. Okay, Vice, the Daily Mail. You want to do the Daily Mail?
Yeah, the Daily Mail.
Daily Mail. Charlene. Charlene Adams. I mean, you always click on their link. It just shows all their articles they've written. Last article she wrote was in 2015 as well. Let's look up Charlene Adams.
Charlene Adams. I'm not finding
it could be a very common.
It is. It's a little too common.
Yeah, Charlene Adams. Let's type in journalist. Muckrack, Charlene Adams. 3 years ago, I got a LinkedIn.
For Charlene Adams?
Charlene Adams.
Let's see. I'm on LinkedIn.
This is a store manager. I don't think this is her. Oh, wait.
Maybe that's what she does now.
No. No, because I don't want to besmirch someone that isn't actually Charlene. I think this is just a Charlene Adams who recently got into writing. I don't think she is and this one's in the United States. Charlene Adams.
This one might be too common. I'm not coming up with anything.
Yeah. Let me type Daily Mail. What shocks me is how after 2015, everyone kind of seemed to stop writing.
Yeah.
Char Adams, Brooklyn, New York. New York Times, New Republic. Doesn't list Daily Mail.
No.
So another reporter that I don't believe is. All right. Yeah, you're right. It's too common a name.
Right, it is. Yeah, I'm not finding anything either.
Yeah, that Char Adams looked like she's a legit gal. Like she's got a show and all that. Mad Max. That's the name of the show, Aaron. Okay, Guardian. Jason Wilson.
Jason what?
Jason Wilson. Just go to the Guardian. Jason Wilson.
Jason Wilson, Guardian. Let's see. It's from Portland. Ugh.
Okay, he's been writing since 2022, so it's not that. Investigative journalism. Okay, Jason Wilson. Oh boy, that's a pretty common name. Journalist.
Just look for the one based in Portland, and you can tell he's based there.
The Guardian, Bellingcat, investigative journalist. Jason Wilson, journalist, Pacific Northwest. All right. Twitter. Okay, he actually has some followers. He's got 34,000.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he's so legit. He might actually have. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's legit, but okay, we've looked through what, 4?
Yeah.
And there's
More legit than that.
one guy who, and he stuck to it. He wrote for The Guardian up until 2022. So he seems to have like a work ethic and kind of a discipline.
His last article appears to be in March. Yep, at least where I see here.
Okay, all right. So there's a guy who kind of made it.
Hmm.
All right, one more.
If he's stuck living in Portland.
Well, all right, let's do CNN, right?
CNN.
No, I'm serious. Like CNN, like if you're writing for CNN, you better be somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do CNN.
CNN.
Laura O'Neill, Lorena O'Neill. All right.
CNN.
Journalist.
So
Laura
just to be
O'Neill.
clear, these are the people that like were slamming you on various platforms, or was it these ones
right?
were looking? Yeah.
All I was doing is going back and searching my name, Mad Max, and it pulls up all the articles right off the bat, pages of it. I mean, we could go look up Swedish newspapers if you'd like. All I want to know is what these know-it-alls, where are they now? That's what I want to know. And half their companies are bankrupt. And especially if like, okay, you're journalists, you should be better at it than me. Okay, Lorena O'Neill, writer, journalist, photojournalist. Netflix, Global. Is she on CNN at all? See, I don't want to. Oh, wait, she wrote for the Hollywood Reporter.
Oh, one of those.
Oh, here it is. Hollywood Reporter. All right. So let's go through this. Reporter, photojournalist, 8 years, 10 months. Freelance work in the Atlantic, Esquire, NPR, Los Angeles Times, Jezebel, Hollywood Reporter, USA Today, CNN, Billboard. All right. So she's still working. Netflix.
Jezebel.
But is that even a thing anymore?
I don't even know if it's still around.
Okay, Netflix, 6 years, 3 months, up until August of 2022. What does that tell you about her self-employment stuff, Chad?
Well, August of 2022. So is she just now becoming self-employed, or maybe never was?
Well, maybe she finally 2 years ago made enough money to be self-employed.
About time.
Drove market strategy, global product writer, EMEA and LATM. What's a LATAM specialist? Bilingual product writer, contributing editor, Hollywood Reporter, OZ writer, editor, reporting fellow, Pop Sugar, New York associate editor.
Ooh, Pop
Year
Sugar.
stints here, freelance reporter, page 6, New York Post. Okay, Chad. Unites Bachelor's of Arts in
journalism or English? Poetry.
English and Spanish literature. She double major.
Don Quixote.
Okay. A master's degree in
journalism, poetry.
Journalism. Because it wasn't clear enough the first time around.
Yeah. Why do you need to get a master's in that? God.
Okay, let's see. Once again. CNN. Impressive resume. Wrote for all these places. And a photographer and bilingual. I'm going to expect better than me. There she is. She looks to be about our age.
God, you had some non-fans on Tumblr back then. I didn't even know if Tumblr was still around.
Did I have non-fans? Wait, like, Tumblr?
Like Tumblr. A lot of people were going after you on Tumblr. I just typed in what you typed in, Mad Max Clary, and I keep getting these Tumblr links.
Chad, okay, man. She got her pronouns up. She worked at a lot of places. She has a master's degree. She is about my age. Well, wait a minute. If I go LinkedIn, it should tell me the year she graduated.
Say her name again. Hold
on. Lorena O'Neill.
Lorena O'Neill.
Okay, she's only 5 years younger than me, so she's mid-40s.
She's about my age.
She's about your age, okay? She's been in the business since the early 2000s. That's 20 years. How many Twitter followers you want to guess?
Okay, she's been around, works some engineer. I'll give her I'll say she's probably got about 10K. I'll be nice. What do you think, 10K?
2,600.
Oh, I overestimated that one.
Now, it could be she doesn't need it, right?
She probably doesn't. She actually, I hate to admit this, but she actually has a nice photo on LinkedIn.
She's
Like, I
she's
think,
not unattractive. She's a pretty
yeah,
girl. I'm not.
she's pretty.
This has nothing to do with people's looks.
Huh.
You know what? Let me look up Lorena O'Neill on Amazon. Maybe she's got some great books.
She's down in New Orleans. I
Hey,
have more
there's a
followers than her too on LinkedIn.
well, God, that's like the bottom of the barrel. You just
It
started
is.
this last year.
And I don't have a resume.
You're an accountant.
with I haven't updated that since 2015 of all years. 2015.
There's nothing else. That's it. That's it.
Marie Claire. Yep.
Yeah, is that even a thing anymore?
No.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that back then, I mean, I'm sure it's like this now, but people are just picking up whatever clickbaity headline and they all pile on without reading the article, and then they try to get clicks. It's just.
Would you say people are now more aware of that now that it's been introduced into the concept? Okay, so then the BuzzFeed slop reporting had a limited shelf life.
Yes, and that's why they're going out of business, among other reasons, I'm sure.
Well, I just wanted to point out all these fine men and women in the journalism community. Congratulations, you guys are just kicking a lot of ass.
God.
Oh,
that's got to be stressful, like wondering where you're next. Can I talk about, you like it when I talk about Cuddlewooks for a little bit, right?
I love it when I hear about other people's pain. Absolutely.
Okay. Cuddlewooks was constantly trying to get her poetry published and articles published. And the thing is, she basically never succeeded. But the one time that she did manage to get something published, it was in like so obscure. It was like the Cincinnati City Poetry, just something. And I'm just thinking, you're spending all these hours for something that doesn't pay you any money and that nobody cares about. I mean, it's just, It blew my mind.
What does Cuddlewookums and I'm going to assume all four of these people have in common?
Wow. I was going to say mental illness, but there's probably a more obvious answer. No.
Why are they not successful in their careers? Why is anyone not successful in their career?
Because they don't want to do hard work or just work in general. They want it to be easy and they're lazy.
Lazy.
I will say, you know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. Like, she was lazy. Like, Cuddlewooks was lazy. Yeah.
She got a master's degree in what? Literature or something? Poetry. Okay. Did she work 2 jobs to pay rent ever?
She worked
like our Latino friend that we know?
Oh God, she never did anything close to what our Latino friend did. I mean, maybe a tenth of that.
Exactly.
Best. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, who's graduating with his chemical engineering degree and is hopefully going to make, $70,000 a year? Right. And who's still living off her parents, living off the husband or something like that?
Clary, you and I have already made more in 2 months than she's making for the whole year. And remember, I still do her taxes.
I find it hilarious. And I guess as an offering, a peace offering to all the people we talked about today, how is that work avoidance strategy working for you guys? I think they're all well under their 30s or 40s. There's only one of them, the dude we talked about before, who kind of has he seems to have a career. But how's that working, avoiding work? And how's that going? We're going to get the Wascowee Republican, conservative, libertarian. How's that going, man? Have you brought about your socialist utopia? Did you stop? Did any of you read my article? I want to know about that. But what is it like to basically suck at what you aim to do your entire life? That's just got to suck, man. Even I knew when to quit banking, but oh my God, they're still going on. So.
You know what gets me is that, so I begged you to come on here. Why? Because I'm bored. I've done all my work for the year. I'm not planning on doing my own stream for a little while. So I'm just I get it, man. It's a little bit hard to relax, but I can't imagine these people who can't even make a living having to sit around with all this energy. It's just, how do they do it?
I also don't understand. I can understand why a 24-year-old guy stays and plays video games and doesn't try and work because he's still young. He's been stuck in school that entire time. it's still new, it's easy, I get it. But after like even 10 years of that, you gotta think like, man, I want to do something else in life. How interesting can video games be? How interesting can writing the same old slop? Oh my God, white male conservative Republicans in the Senate didn't give us more of other people's money. Oh my God. I mean, oh my God, the sky is falling. You know how long they've been saying the global warming and like, yeah, we got it. What else is new? Like, and just, yeah, you'd think that they would say, I want to do something different. But man, laziness is a powerful force.
It really is. I mean, every time I come across somebody like this, I simply cannot relate to them. Like I was out over the weekend and my buddy brought his new girlfriend. And the second I start talking to her and she's telling me what she does, like, oh, I make art and all this. And I'm just like,
And this isn't an 18-year-old young girl who's trying to
no, this
figure
is
it. No.
somebody in their mid 30s. And
Yep.
so I told him, we'll call him James. I'm like, James, can I talk to you for a second? And I just gave it to him. I'm like, I dated a girl like this once, cuddle books. Trust me, man, it ain't going to work out well.
No, it isn't. It isn't. But it's not a. I just for the audience, because remember how I was dragged out in front of the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
I just want to shine a little light of public opinion on these people now. Like, hey, how's it going, guys? You doing good? It'd be great because they don't remember who I am, right?
Probably not.
They've written thousands of articles in it, but it would be great to go up to like, the hiking guy joining the hike, find out where he goes hiking. Oh, he's in this meetup group. Like, oh yeah, no, I wrote this article about Mad Max, and like, dude, it went global. People like wrote article upon article, and like, I'm here now because of it. Because if it weren't for those people, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere near the traffic and all the subscribers that came after it. Like, totally launched me into the self. And now I get to like chill out and relax, and and just he be the guy or the girl, and then just, all right, see you later, buddy.
So it was that gave you that major bump. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah,
it was so long ago.
I had been writing 11 years on my blog, and whatever. So that's 100%. The day before, the week after, I had 120%. They got me on the same amount of subscribers I'd get in 2 years in 1 week. Yeah, I just so.
I remember, another thing I remember, I had, guess who I had living with me when all this took place with you? I had 40.
It wasn't our dentist friend, I'd imagine.
No, it was 40.
It was 40, yeah. You cut out, Chad.
40, yeah.
You cut out. Say that again.
Oh no, yeah, we're back now. I was just saying, yeah, it was while all this was going on, Forney and I were in my living room laughing about it because that was the couple-month period where he was living.
I had people. I had a friend at his office, and some of the girls were talking. Oh my God, I can't believe this article written by this Aaron Clary guy. And he peeked up and he just shut up about it, and he was like, "Oh, I remember that." I was like, so it's like, where were you when JFK got shot? Yeah, that's. Oh, well, you want to do some super chats here?
Sure. I don't know where you left off.
I got it.
Is it here? Okay. Wholesome DJ Aftershock for $5. Hey, Chad, why couldn't Crappy hack it at being an accountant? Because very often he comes up short. He stayed low so Chad can fly high. Well, let me tell you something about Clary. He's got an accountant in his life who ain't short and who is pretty fly.
Pretty long-legged too.
Ray John for $2.20 Canadian. Mad Chad or Vlad Elkins? Vlad Elkins. Real quick, Clary. I was thinking of changing my YouTube channel to Vlad Elkins CPA instead of Chad Elkins. No, you don't?
No, it's already there.
Okay.
You got your website, the algorithms, and Chad Elkins is fine. We just like calling you Vlad Elkins.
Okay. Dr. Paradox for $5. Rich kids are a-holes. They don't know how to work hard, says two guys casting. Come on, you got to laugh at that. Yeah.
It's how we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done lots of landscaping, collected many cans, patrolled many nights, worked many, looked at many spreadsheets. I've done my time.
I did a lot of thankless grunt work, believe me. Why the math for $10? Sounds like corporate's goal is to bore you into giving them a pass. Get an IT career instead.
I don't get it.
To giving them a pass. Probably something you were chatting about earlier.
Talking about before, but thank you regardless. Yeah.
Ray John for $2.20 Canadian. How cringe or weird was my trolling? Well, you used to be kind of perverted, Ray John, but you've toned that down a little bit.
I think he had to graduate here pretty soon.
Yeah. Swallow
Speaking
Blue.
of Swallow Blue, yeah. Speaking of great, I hope he's doing this kid had not a good environment to study in, so I hope Swallow's doing well.
I haven't seen Swallow in forever. These companies were never meant to be profitable.
He's more right. I bet you that's what it was. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
surprised Vice went back to 1994, but Swallow was right. I saw that at .coms and all this vaporware and this new social media stuff. You investment, the hedge funds and venture capitalists and private equity firms, you guys are dumber than shit. You're giving all these companies money that are, well, we're not going to be profitable for 10 years. All these guys do is come in there, say with some soothsaying words about IT and technology and social media. They pay themselves an ass load in terms of like corporate executive salaries. And then they walk away after 3 years with like $1.2 million. And you dipshits like, well, but my price to sales. But Swallow is right. I did work for a .com where that's all the guy did. Like in the end, you found out. And the feds did not like it. The feds did not like it very much at all.
Turns out grifting is potentially against the law. Niraj for £2. PhD in land whale cocology, salary $95,000 plus per year.
No, I don't think any of them. What would that be like to have like a master's degree in journalism?
I mean,
And you're in your 40s?
I feel bad enough about getting an MBA because an MBA is just so not worth it. But I mean, a master's in journalism.
And you get 2,600 subscribers.
Ryan for $4.99. You guys convinced me to study accounting. I'm a sophomore in college and I have a tax internship at the Big Four making $32 an hour with big bonus. Thanks. Well, congrats, man.
Hey, Chad, here's a
Yeah.
joke for you. What is $32 an hour?
More than any of these journalism.
Yeah, there you
people
go.
ever
Is that
made.
funny?
It is
This
funny.
20-year-old kid makes more than people twice his age.
Getting an internship after your sophomore year, that's pretty hardcore because usually it's your junior year where you get into that. Cynic for $2. Have you done the Cable Mountain Trail at Zion?
No, I saw signs for it. And yeah, Cynic, you're right, because it was the same trailhead. And then if you went right, you went out to the Mesa Overlook, but then the Cable Mountain was angling. No, it was the road signs. There was the road signs leading up to the trailhead. You could go Cable Mountain or you could go Observation Point. We did Observation Point. So you're right, Cynic. But no, I haven't done that. If it's worth it, I'll do it. Go ahead and text me.
And I would be interested in going to Zion if we can make it work. Like I was saying, I know you just went.
Temperature's the number one thing.
Mm.
And we're leaving early.
Sure.
And then we're going to loop big old. Remember when we got those awesome bakery products? Atham had like 3 of them and he ate all of them.
Yeah, St. George.
Okay. No, that was in Cedar City. So it's past St. George.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're going to go through that town. We're going to go around the north side, come in from the east side, and then we're going to go all the way back. And it's going to be a long ass day. But the hike itself won't take us more than an hour and a half.
Well, just out of curiosity, are you doing that to avoid just getting bored and going on the same route, or
no? Because when you go, the quickest way to get to that trailhead is to go through the park, and you have every fat, slow driving trailer hauling boomer and carrying. I'll tell you this because I've gone to enough national parks. What causes the line at national parks, Chad? There's multiple things. What's the number one thing that causes lines at national parks?
slow people, slowness.
Which type of slow people? They're all slow. Which type of people take up the most time? I'll give you a hint of the Rangers' time.
Oh, it's got to be the Karens or the Boomers.
What are the Karens doing? Why are they taking up the Rangers' time?
Because they want to speak to the manager.
No.
Oh, I thought I had a good joke there.
You are Karen.
Yeah.
You're with Herman.
Okay.
You go Badlands National Park.
Okay.
You pull up to the ranger gal. What do you do as Karen?
I'm going to say they're either asking for directions or they're complaining about something.
They're not complaining. They're asking about everything to do in the park that they should have looked up on the internet.
Oh.
Badlands. I knew some rangers. Where do we find the buffalo? Where do we find this? Where do we go? Like that is usually what holds it up.
That happened to you yesterday?
No, I'm sure it did, but the line was so far back. We were in line for like 45 minutes. And then you got to go up this switchback. You go through a tunnel. That's backed up. Then you get out the east end. All right, that's okay. It loosens up a little bit. Then you got to turn around. You got to go back through the park. And so the east entrance is backed up. And then you're going really slow. And I'm like, F that. We're just going to go around. I'll show you cedar breaks. We'll show you some other stuff. But I am not going through that park again.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Dre for $2. Carlson School caused Cappy's success. Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored.
They have.
Indirectly.
They did. Indirectly, yeah. They gave me a worthless degree. They pretty much lied about the value of this degree and like their ranking and all that other stuff. And they didn't lie about it. According to the Gorman report. Have you heard about the Orwell Prize, Chad? Have you heard about the Gorman report that ranks the schools?
No, what did they rank Carlson?
They ranked it like, I don't know, something very high. Like, oh yeah, the Gorman report. I don't even know if the Gorman report exists anymore. Don't go to the Carlson School of Management. But it did. I'm their little Frankenstein monster. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the corrupt banking industry, I wouldn't be here. But since, oh no, you're not from Princeton. You can't do that. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. Any degree. Oh, I'm Anakin Skywalker now. I've definitely cost them more than I had to pay them in tuition, adjusted for inflation.
Good.
Yep.
Dr. Paradox for $2. I spin in a circle and stop Dre talking. Boom. Oh, so I've hung out with Dre in person, and Dre can talk, man. Dre is a talker. Yep. SJ 220 Canadian. Why did you start hiking? I'm starting. Any tips?
I started hiking because my dad used to work at Glacier National Park when he was a young man. And he had all these pictures and told me all these stories about the mountains. There are no mountains in Wisconsin. But Chad, did we have the money to go to Glacier National Park?
I'm guessing not.
No, but we did have the money to go to fun places like Appleton and Green Bay, or sometimes we go to Minnesota. Are there mountains in Minnesota?
No,
there are not. And so it was like they were always calling me. And then, Chad, did I like take my teens and 20s and go out and explore Colorado like I should have?
I don't think you did that in your teens and 20s.
I did what every boomer told me to do: go to college, get a degree, work hard. It wasn't until I was 30 that I hopped the train, went to Glacier, and figured it out. So it's been built up for 30 years, or 25 consciously anyway. And now I finally have money, remote work, and that's why I started hiking, because now I could tear up those mountains and go out into canyons.
So, you mind I do a quick answer? Like,
yeah, sure.
I just enjoy it. Like, I'm such a city person, as y'all know, that for me, it's just getting totally out of my element. And I like the nature. I like the sunshine. I like the exercise. I just always feel really happy after a nice long hike.
Yeah. So where we spent most of our time is, cavemen, was outdoors. Yeah. And then any tips? I would
bring water.
Well, first I'd start hiking around your local neighborhood, like go on trails, like just start building up your endurance, get so you can hike. I'd say if you want, before you take a trip, get up there, you can walk 10 miles. Make sure you can walk 10 miles. And if there's hills, walk up those hills. Like, you want to be used to getting elevation gain. If you really want to do it quickly, do stairs. Go find like people used to do stairs at the different skyscrapers in town. So find some stairs and just do stairs, man. Do stairs. And then I would start, if you want to do mountains or canyons are fine because you're going down where water is. But if you want to do mountains, I would keep it under definitely 9,000 feet for the beginning. Because if you're from Louisiana, where you could touch the water or you're below sea level, your lungs are not used to the lack of oxygen up there.
Yeah.
So there's the Guadalupe Mountains in Texas. Some of the, what do they call them? Foothills of the Rockies are okay to try climbing, like in Boulder or Fort Collins or whatever. The Black Hills are good for that too, although they're kind of remote. But I would not be going up no 14,000 foot mountain, no matter how much you train. You have to get your lungs up to that capacity. And so if you really want to see something that's amazing, but you don't want to go high elevation, I would be doing canyons like Canyonlands National Park, Arches National Park, Zion National Park, anything in Utah. As long as you avoid snow peak mountains, you should be all right.
Let me ask you something. If you're like a good runner and you're in very good shape, you got good cardio, but you haven't trained yourself with elevation, are you still going to possibly be able to keep up with people who have?
Totally depends on the individual.
Yeah.
I've had people that it doesn't phase them at all. And if you're in good cardio, you'll be fine. Whatever reason, you're oxygen gets into your lungs and your blood just fine. I've had people not even go on hikes. My buddy Richard, this happened to him. He lands in Denver, and in about an hour, he's throwing up. He wasn't running or anything. He was just at 5,000. Dude grew up in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I was like, have you ever been above a mile? And apparently not. So, yeah, you acclimate, but the second, like, let's say you train, right? And you're charged, you do stairs, you can do whatever, 50 flights of stairs, and you go up into the mountains and you're like, man, I am not on my game today. This is not good. This is like, I'm weak. It's not you, it's the oxygen.
Yeah.
And if you start getting a headache, turn around and go back down immediately. There's no reason to get that pounding headache. Worst headache I've ever had in my life.
No, when I visit my parents and I go running in Santa Fe, yeah, I never can perform as well as opposed to other places. So yeah. Anthony Ciortino for $5. Moving from the East Coast to the Midwest next week.
All right.
Any advice on how to properly be a Midwesterner?
Yes. Tony's our Italian agent in the field. Okay, Tony. First, you have to lie to people's faces and backstab them. Okay, passive aggressiveness. You being, I know where Anthony's from. They're more upfront and honest with each other. Yeah, that ain't gonna fly. So you have to lie to, like, oh my God, that's such a nice shirt. And then I don't care if you don't know anyone else. You need to grab someone else randomly and say, look at that idiot shirt. I can't believe oh my God, she's such a slut. That would get you the quickest way to be a proper Midwesterner. Drink a lot of shitty beer, watch the local sports ball team.
Eat wings, eat a lot of wings.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's going to be definitely, I'm of course joking mostly, but properly be a Midwesterner. Here's some real advice. Just be quiet and don't say anything. Figure people out first. Just be very quiet. Don't be impolite. People ask you a question, talk, but just sit and observe, man. Just sit and observe.
You have to say pop. You can't say soda. You have to say pop.
No, you say soda.
Well, I don't know. Everybody calls it pop around here, and I'm still getting used to that.
Yeah, but they also poop in the streets in Chicago, so I don't,
Dr. Paradox for $2. Ride the wave. Keep up the good work. Paradox out.
Yep, gonna keep doing this until it's done. I wonder if any of those journalists have houses,
I doubt it, unless they marry. You know what? They probably have spouses that have real careers and real jobs.
That's not uncommon. All those girls that write, New York publications, like they live in the New York, Sex and the City lifestyle. They got 3,000 subscribers. Like, how the hell do you afford a $1,500 apartment? Oh, yeah, dad or husband. Yeah.
That was the case with a lot of my actor and actress clients, which I don't have anymore. DJ for $2. But Clary, my driftless scenery.
Yeah. Where's Wholesome from?
I think he's from the East Coast.
Is he?
He talks a lot about,
I don't, is he talking about East Coast driftless scenery or like the tundras like Kansas or Nebraska?
No idea.
To be perfectly honest, South Dakota for the most part, it is pretty, it just goes. I can show you pictures where you don't see the horizon. It just continues on forever.
John for $5. Hi, what would be the best route for a 19-year-old? Get a Western Governors University accounting degree in CPA or WGU and EA and CMA? Should I go get experience at the Big Four? CPA is hard to get as fuck. Any advice, EA worth it? Well, that's a lot of questions.
I say EA. I absolutely agree with the Western Governors University because I've had like 3 clients now graduate with Western Governors and now they're off to the races working. I would get the EA, frankly. I want the CMA. Didn't we agree that that's kind of bullshit? Like no one ever uses that.
People don't know what that is. Like, yeah,
that won't get you the girls.
Well, none of those will get you the girls, but I do think. Well, it goes without saying. Only get the EA if you want to do tax, because you didn't say anything about what you want to do in there. But an EA tax, yeah.
Does he even need to get experience at the Big Four if he does the enrolled agent?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt him to get that experience.
Big Four experience is good if you want to really make it in corporate America and then go into industry. Like Big Four is worth its weight in gold on that. But who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah, I don't. Let me get this going on. I think we're kind of caught up, so let me kind of close it out here.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get this. All right, so a couple more sponsors. One, the VeloWave bike. I'm putting the link in the chat room now. If you're in the city, you want to cut down on parking costs and gas costs and all that, get a VeloWave bike. My version I got is linked there below. But if you use discount code Aaron, AARON, double A Ron, you can get, I think it's $200 off my model. But they have other models you might be interested in. I don't know if the discount code will work. I think it only works for that model, but it's a shiny red, really cool one. It's got a little cage on the back, so you could transport your girls with that when you go to the nightclub. Also, I think I got them all here. You want to plug your website?
Sure. Well, I'm at elkincpa.com, but lately, as I think a lot of you know, I've got this YouTube channel on here. It's Chad Elkins CPA, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if I'll be able to do one this week. Maybe I'll talk to you about that, see when you're free. But yeah, I'll continue to do episodes because I enjoy it.
Yeah, this week I'm packing in the fun because we're taking
Yeah.
off relatively soon. So it's motorcycle ride day tomorrow, golf after that, hiking in Prescott, Arizona after that, visiting my friends at Phoenix. Some idiot's graduation. I don't know, some moron. Some idiot school decided to give some moron a degree. And then yeah, we'll let me know, but I'll probably be busy.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, I want to get this off my list. Have you heard about this guy that booked a flight to Sydney, Montana, and thought was going to Sydney, Australia?
No.
Okay, from ksat.com, vacation-bound man ends up in Sydney, Montana after trying to book flight to Sydney, Australia. He probably thought he was getting a really good deal.
I mean, that can't be cheap to fly to Sydney, Montana either.
No,
So
it isn't. A man looking to travel down under ended up in the Treasure State after accidentally booking a flight to the incorrect city with the same name. New Yorker Kingsley Burnett, who was originally from Jamaica, was looking to travel to Sydney, Australia, but ended up makingly booking a flight to Sydney, Montana. I saw a little plane, like 9 passengers, and wonder, how is this going to get me to Australia? The 62-year-old told the New York Post. That was when I caught on to the mistake I made. Burnett left New York's LaGuardia Airport on the evening of the 26th and ended up in Billings, Montana the following morning. According to the story, Foles, travelers can connect from Billings to Sydney, which is roughly 250 miles east, but they cannot connect to Sydney, Australia from the airport because it's 8,300 miles in the other direction.
Oh, you don't
I had to
say.
figure out for myself that Billings, Montana would only take me to Sydney, Montana, where there were no kangaroos waiting to welcome Mr. Burnett, he said. The video of Burnett's trip can be viewed in the media player on top of this article. During his trip, Burnett met American Airlines ticket desk employee Carlo Castellano. He was really funny. Kingsley came. He was really funny. Kingsley came and he goes, "I've got a problem," Castellano told KTVQ. Burnett told Castellano he was supposed to be heading to Sydney, Australia to depart on a cruise for a dream vacation. She was able to help him book a hotel and a flight home, but Burnett wouldn't be able to make it to Australia in time for his cruise. That's too bad. Montana didn't have kangaroos. It had Carol, and that was good enough for me, Burnett told KTVQ. He rescheduled his trip for June. That's a nice story, isn't it?
It's got a happy ending-ish.
Yeah. Billings, Montana. Would you imagine it nice or shitty?
That is one state I've never been to, but I would imagine it's probably not great.
It is kind of shitty. A lot of homeless, a lot of you're like, really, Montana? And you're glad that you're allowed to own guns there.
Yeah, I'll bet.
All right. We got everything. We got all the super chats. That's it. Link below. You will find. What the hell did I link to below? All my courses, my books. Like, unlike these journalist people who don't have they got them, but I don't know if you want to read their books. But links to my books below, links to the courses I have below, all generally related to finance. I also have link below is my Amazon affiliate program. Chad, where should they do all their Amazon shopping?
They should click on the link so that you get the referrals or whatever it's called, affiliate.
Right.
And,
I get a commission.
Commission, yeah.
Right. Do they pay more?
No.
No. Does, what's his name? Jeff Bezos make less?
Yes, which we want.
Yes. That's why I don't know if we really want, but if he's going to give the money away, sure. And then, my Subscribe Star channel. You know I have Subscribe Star or no?
I've heard you mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like people, you should get like Patreon, except Patreon supports Black Lives Matter, a bunch of Marxist causes. So I shut mine down and I went to Subscribestar. You get access to the Road Trip podcast, where I do podcasts from my phone while driving or hiking, so the audio quality is absolute shit. And then you also get access to Mary Jo's pinups, which, Chad, I'm sure you would be interested in that.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah. Okay. You've seen them. So there you go. And then if there are any cute girls out there that want to add pinups, I'm always willing to pay. They do have to go on the site, though, because that way I would make money on the deal. I'm a capitalist. How many girls do you think in the very Cappy Cat sphere, the Cappy Cap commune, the Cappy Cap club, all those wonderful, how many girls have volunteered? Like, yeah, I'm a fun type of gal. I'll send in some PG-13 stuff. How many do you think we had to take advantage of that offer?
2 or 3.
2. Mary
2.
Jo and Jesse. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. In the
That's
past
actually
10 years. Yeah.
yeah.
God bless them, though. God bless them.
I tried to send you one of my cam girls, but she just was not she was not reliable. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why you have to rely on the conservative libertarian women who have jobs. They might actually show up on time. So all right, Toodles, and man, you know what? We should hang out
soon.